Engineering is raw because the schools have not been there. Soroti, as a government school, has its own policies and they take few students every year. And actually, I've been informed that even last year, I think there was no intake. I don't know how true that is. So, however, given the fact that it's the only school, there is also a challenge in the number of people it takes on. So that is the reason why the engineering has been lacking. Like, it passes out very few engineers. So you find that out of the few who are passed out, they all get taken up, and the industry stays when it's still demanding. So that is why most times foreigners are brought in. A lot of Kenyans are in Uganda, a lot of South Africans, and other foreigners, like people come as far as the US with the FAA licenses and all that. So that has been the challenge, really. So Georgia has come up, and we have strategies in place. The first strategy is to bring the services nearer to the people, the engineering training. We want to pass out as many engineers as possible to fill these gaps so that Ugandans can be represented both in the national airlines. There are these small operators, there are these AMOs are maintenance organizations. All these have gaps. You find South Africans, very many Kenyans, and very many others. So Georgia has a strategy to pass out well-qualified engineers who will also have the B1, B2 license. That is the European license.
But also one thing to say is that not even students who are in secondary school, those who have finished, have information about aircraft maintenance and engineering. They don't know that profession exists because they think when you're going to aviation, you have to be a pilot, you have to be a flight attendant and the rest. How are you making sure that this information is visible?
Oh yeah, now that has been a gap for sure. The information has not been out there. But the way the profession is designed, it's kind of tricky because the people who are in the limelight, who are seen, are the crew. These are the pilots and the cabin crew and all that. However, engineers are there, but somehow that's how the profession is designed. Now, what Georgia is doing is we want to sensitize the public through media like NTV now, and through our adverts. We intend to go to schools, which we have already done some schools. We intend to go to all regions within the country and try to advertise the need for engineers in Uganda, the opportunities and all that. So that is one of our strategies. Now, there's a common question that I'm always asked about the opportunities in engineering. Now, engineering has very many opportunities. We talked about the B1, B2 license. That is the Part 66 license. It's a European license. That license is very heavy and very important. In that, right now, if you see there's an influx in the Middle East. The Middle East is taking on a lot of engineers all over the world, not just from Africa. A lot of engineers. So there's a shortage all over the world, not just in Africa, of engineers, because a lot of them are going to the Middle East. These Emirates, you know those giants, they call it the Arab money. The Emirates, Etihad, Riyadh Air, all those guys are taking in. That is where the money is now. So a lot of engineers with these B1, B2 licenses, I can bet you, Ivan, right now you go and Google search engineering jobs, you will see a lot of adverts from those Middle East companies, Emirates and all that. So there is a lot of market there, and it leaves a gap here. So CA has been supportive. Of course, they are the ones who certify us. So by default, they have to support us, unless if they don't want to certify us. They are the authority. They are the ones who give us the approval to operate. Now, the other support that we really would wish to have is maybe a public-private partnership with government.
Yes.
Because as individuals, like you see, Georgia is just a group of engineers, young engineers who came up to me. We have a lot of limitations, but the ideas are there. For example, apart from we are talking about the basic course, there is what we call now type ratings.
Yes.
See this Airbus A330. You find that Uganda Airlines, for example, has no option but to take the engineers abroad for training. Imagine if we can bring that here, maybe through Georgia, even if it's not through Georgia, but government really needs to take a hand. We have trainings of these type trainings here, Airbus, CRJ, and they are done within the country. It will help a lot. because the challenge has been people get the basic license and they cannot add on because these type ratings are expensive. The ticket for going out, the accommodation there, let's say for 2 months, a lot of resources are needed. So it limits people. People stay with the basic license and they cannot upgrade. McHugh, Georgia has a partnership with a school, New Endeavors, and we offer some of these type ratings, including even the CRJ that Uganda Airlines has. So we would implore or request the government to come in and help us put up the facilities and also bring business to us.